What are we doing out here?
These are the 35 to 40 degree different days between the highs and the lows. No, thank you.
It's weird. Yeah, well, it wreaks hell with your allergies. You got issues.
Oh,
so, yeah. I mean,
that's only the beginning of my issues.
Yeah, sleep gets disrupted. You really struggle. I know. It sucks. I know a lot of people like you in that situation. I don't have that problem. I just get annoyed.
A lot of people love me. They don't just like me.
Oh, you ready for these picks? You ready for these? You want to get right to them?
Set me an over-under for how many sirens I'm going to need to hit today.
I don't know. Let Director Matthew decide on that one. I mean, there are a few right out the gate, as Jimbo would say. This is out the gate, Tom. Right from the beginning, the very first picks, you're going to go, really? Okay.
Oh,
That's where we're at.
All right.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
I'm ready.
So as you see the picks there, brought to you by the Metro Deli. If you're watching on Warchant TV, thank you so much to our great friends and supporters at Metro Deli. I don't see why not. Get you a turkey grinder, damn it. Get you a turkey grinder. In a tomato wrap or a spinach wrap.
Yeah,
I like both.
That's the tomato basil wrap, right?
Yes, it is. I like all their food, but I always fall back on the damn grinder. It's just me.
The food, not the app.
Oh, man, that is funny. All right, this is what we got. Houston and Memphis are going to play a football game, and the two of them are going to combine to score over 59.5. That's what they're going to do. All right, here we go.
I can feel it all the way down to my plums.
Over 59.5. Louisville and Duke will play a game tonight, Tom, with not much fanfare. Not a ton of interest, but they are going to play it, and they're going to score over 60 points in that one. That's nice. Here we go. Oh, look at that. We got Ric Flair in the act now. I didn't know it. There we go. Nicely done. Florida State's going to go up to Boston. Little Chestnut Hill near Newton, as they call it, Snooton, for all the rich folks there in Newton. And they don't like you to tailgate when you go up there. If you've never done it, just so you know, they do not like you to tailgate when you go to Chestnut Hill. They frown upon it.
But if your name is Bill Belichick, they will allow you to park in the middle of wherever you want and leave your car, no problem.
Well, I think he's earned that. I think he's probably earned that. I would also note that I bet Nick Saban could do the same in Alabama, right? Tuscaloosa, just pull up, roll into a handicap spot, doesn't care, gets out, leaves the doors open. People come clean the car while he's running into the store. Parked illegally.
There are just stacks of cash that he gives to recruits in there, and nobody touches a dollar.
No, but they know the deal.
You don't mess with Saban's money.
You'll leave it alone. Anyhow, Florida State's going to go on the road there and play in lovely Boston. Fun city, great city, a lot of history, good weather this time of year. I like us. I like us to be locked in. I'm taking us on the money line. We're a dog, but I like us to win the game outright. Give me the Noles money line for the win.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
I was very encouraged to hear that they had a great week of practice, that Norvell was, and normally I roll my eyes because there are motivational factors involved in that a lot of times. It's not always the God's honest truth about whether a kid had a good day or the team or a segment group had a good practice or not. A lot of times coaches sending messages through the media, I just kind of roll my eyes. But, I think it's a mature group. You and I were on the College Sports Book today previewing the state of Florida's gambling. And like and subscribe both to Warchant TV and the College Sports Book on YouTube. And we do the Florida bets. We just look through the state at the biggins. We'll take a look at Florida State, obviously, Florida, Miami, UCF. Every now and then USF sneaks in there, not often. But we do that. And you said something that I wholeheartedly agreed with, and it was my thinking as well. They're mature enough, they're locked in enough, they care enough, they prepare enough, and they love each other. And now I added to what you said, but in essence, that's what you were saying, that they're going to go up there and look at this as an opportunity and not be stuck in last week's game. You don't want your mind to wander about how great it was that through hard work, perseverance, what for, and a little stick-to-itiveness, you overcame a 8-point deficit in the waning minutes of the game to win. You got to go play a football game, and you got to be good in said football game, or you'll get beat, because Boston College is a good enough team to beat you. In fact, Vegas thinks they're a better team. They're favoring, although on a neutral field, I think Florida State, it would appear, would be favored. But that said, BC's your equal is what they're telling you. And so if you don't go up there and play smart and play hard and play well and take care of business, you'll get beat. But I think this is the kind of team that is locked in, and they do care. And they know that obviously a win on Saturday puts them in a position, not a what if, but a position to actually go to a bowl if they could beat their arch rival and nemesis, University of Florida Gators, at the end of the season.
It would be extremely disappointing if Jurkovic has a huge day for Boston College on Saturday where he can do whatever he wants to do. Because, again, this is a defense that is prepared for this type of player because we've seen a lot of good quarterbacks this year in a season in which college football itself is down, right?
Yeah.
You got Georgia and there's everybody else. Usually there's 5 or 6 teams. By the time you get to this point of the season, it's whittled down to 4 with a couple of outside chances. Nobody knows anything beyond number 1 this year. So in a year where there's a lot of average, ACC quarterback play in retrospect is pretty damn good.
Pretty good, yeah. It's been a tested group here on defense for Florida State. Yes, and by the way, Mark, you make a great point here in the chat. And since we're talking gambling in the opening segment, since it is Redemption Thursday, yes, I saw that. FSU did open at plus 115. Now they're plus 100. Hope you jumped early. They also opened at plus 3.5, and I did jump early. You want to give me more than a field goal? Get the hell out of here with that. What are you doing? That's insulting. BC's not that good. What are we doing? I was actually kind of pissed. I jumped on it. Boom. What are you doing?
Yeah, again, what is it that this quarterback does that Florida State hasn't seen at this point? If you look at Leary and Howell and Van Dyke and Jack Cohn in week 1.
Who played like Jesus. I mean, what was he doing? He hadn't played that way the rest of the year, which I knew he wouldn't.
The mural had traveled from the dump of the town down to Tallahassee.
It's insane.
So what is it this guy does that's better than any of them? Nothing, but it doesn't mean he's not good.
No, he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player.
Question will be, how can we pressure him? He likes to climb the pocket. How about that middle of the rush?
Let's go. That front 4 has been beastly. All right, give me Michigan to lay the wood to Maryland on the road. Maryland started the year 4-0. They've won 1 game since. They've looked terrible in all the others. I think they suck. I'm going to take Michigan. There's their analysis right there. I think they suck. That's what I'm here to tell you. Give me Michigan to sleepwalk and easily cover the 14.5.
Maryland sounds like the antithesis of Florida State. So that sounds like.
Yeah. It would be fun. Jeff, what's your problem with Maryland? They kind of suck. All right.
Yeah.
Just in general.
That's on the dais.
Give me UCLA to stomp Southern Cal. It's been a rough go there at USC this year. UCLA still playing hard. Give me them to lay the 3 and get the win in the rivalry game there. When I was a kid, I used to love to watch this game. I know that sounds strange, growing up in Florida, by and large, caring deeply about football in the South, although I do love the overall, as I like to say, big picture of college football and on the whole. But I do remember thinking that the uniform clash of UCLA and USC was fantastic. So many colors. There's just so much going on when you watch. Because when UCLA is wearing that blue with the gold, and USC has got that rich, maroon, if you will.
And it's over the green field.
It's just.
Think about that. That is an assault on the senses.
It's beautiful. Anyhow, I'll give UCLA to win. I'll give the 3. I like how Oregon State's played this year. I'll take them +3 against Arizona State. Cal giving a 1.5 to Stanford. This has been a tough year at Stanford. Give me Cal to win that game comfortably. That's more of a pick 'em than anything else. I like Hawaii. I keep fading Colorado State. You guys have noticed. There he is. Woo! I like that we got him cursing me out because every week I pick against him, and he can be as mad as he wants to be, but that really worked out for him there.
He won't curse you out when he is a star on Warchant TV as we put together a lot of programming around what he does.
I can't wait. We'll get in here. We'll talk wine and pastries and football. What a day at the office that'll be, huh? Sorry, Adagio, but I'm going to take Hawaii to get the win there. They're getting points. I'll do it. West Virginia giving 3 against Texas. Texas is a mess, to say the least. It's interesting. We have moved into an era where guys don't get a lot of time, and Florida State helped usher in that era. We went from an era of, okay, you get 5 years, bare minimum, because you got to come in and you get your recruiting class, and that class has got to come through and play all those years, and then we decide whether or not you got anything going for you. In it's 5 years and doesn't work out, then we let you go. And somewhere along the way, the money got to be more influential. And they said, I ain't waiting around on 5 years. I mean, this guy's been kind of sorry as hell for the last 3. I'm not waiting for 5. I know what he is. So at the end of 3, people got let go, and it was, 3 was a bit much, but people didn't bat an eyelash. They began to say, 3 years. Usually have some indicators. After 3 years, we got to see a little something. Got to show me something. Now, thanks to Florida State and a couple of others, like, I don't know, man, 2 and a couple. This ain't moving in the right direction. We're going to call it a day with this. We're pulling the plug. You're done.
2 and a couple? How about 1 and a couple?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's kind of like, 1 and a couple here. We're about done with you. So that kind of happened. And I brought it up to a friend of mine whose father was in the coaching profession for a very, very long time. And we were debating when and whether or not it would be smart if you had endless funds, say like Texas does, and you're chasing the rabbit. You've been trying, and you always grab the next thing, and it never works out. I mean, Tom Herman wasn't good, but he wasn't horrific. In fact, at the end of his last year, I think he won 7-8 games in a 10-game season with the COVID, and they fired him. They said, "Get the hell up out of here. I'm tired of your sorry ass. You swaying back and forth nonsense. You can leave." But would you consider firing Sark if they get beat again and they lose their 6th straight and they've clearly quit? The answer is no. It's year 1.
You have to look at the class.
The answer is no.
Well, if they're like in the 60s in recruiting, then you might have no choice. Like, who are you losing? What does it matter?
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. I want to know when we reach the point that, devoid of scandal, does a guy not make it past a year, devoid of scandal? I mean, obviously, if you catch him in a hotel room with hookers and cocaine or something, he's got to go, and it's week 7 or whatever it is. You can fire a guy for that. But I'm saying, other than well done, Ric Flair. Yeah, you got to let him go then. But other than that, that's scandal. I mean,
maybe.
You got to go 0 for though.
Correct.
You got to. I mean, if you roll in with some decent talent and go 0-12,
I think if that happens, that means the athletic director is gone. Maybe the university president is gone, because who the hell interviewed that guy? Wasn't that the question that came out of Willie's time and all the stories we hear? None of these red flags appeared in anything you did in a background check here. None of them.
Yeah, but that you're intimating that there's a criminal aspect to that background check.
No, I'm talking about red flags where you ask somebody who maybe worked at USF's program and they told you, yeah, you know what? Sometimes we'd lock the doors on our kids. We'd forget to unlock them. People would be standing outside for no reason. Maybe you call up to Eugene and they're like, yeah, Willie's missed a walkthrough or 2. He's only been here a year, but we've missed a couple of walkthroughs. That's never happened here at Oregon. Maybe you'd hear things like that if you vetted it a little bit closer. Maybe.
I'm going to answer Ryan's question on the chat here in a moment, because I actually think it's an interesting one. So anyhow, that's what I have. And then I have an NFL 6-point teaser. Pleaser, baby. All right. I'm going to cross my fingers here, and let's hope it happens. All right.
Right. You violated a principle.
I did violate a principle, but I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the principle. Anyhow, I'm going to tease down the Patriots to a half point. They just got to win the game. They just got to beat the Falcons.
Oh, okay. Atlanta?
Yeah.
No wonder I saw a lot of 28-3 stuff this week. Okay, that's what that's about.
That's what that's about. So it's just a half point. Just got to win the game. Just got to win the game. And that's an Atlanta group that just got bent over in a way that was unholy with the Cowboys.
Well, according to the Testament, every which way. That's all unholy.
And then finally, I did the other part of that teaser is the Ravens, who are a 5-point favorite. 5-point favorites, and I ended up teasing it across 0. That's the principle that I violated, and I'm getting a point against the Bears, but I don't care. You got to have a second team for the teaser, Tom.
You want winners.
That's right.
You're picking winners.
That's all I'm doing. So I'm doing it. That's my 6-point teaser pleaser. Give me New England a half point, Baltimore +1. Come on, teaser pleaser. He's let me down lately. I still have a 500 record since I started introducing teasers on the program. Now, that's with teasers. I am over 500, everything else, but the teaser has sunk it to 500 after last week's loss. I got it out of the way early. I like to do that. That was on a Thursday night, right off the bat.
Yes, no more Thursday night NFL gods. Got to stop. Weird stuff happens.
Yeah, it's annoying. So there you go.
Even though you're tempting them again tonight.
Yeah, I am. A little bit. Just a little bit. All right, so Florida State wins 59-54. It was ugly. I didn't like it. I'm worried. I'll tell you about it in a moment. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. The national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
This holiday season, it's more important than ever to show some love to our local businesses when tackling your shopping lists. Real Talk 93.3 and the Office of Economic Vitality want to encourage everyone to think local first before you click that Shop Now button from the Big Box website.
Instead, consider checking out some of our very own local businesses like For Pet's Sake, dedicated and passionate care for animals, both large and small, including personalized play dates while you're at work or overnight care when you're away.
Tallahassee Nurseries, your Christmas tree headquarters, offering the highest quality trees in Tallahassee. Reserve your tree in advance, and Tallahassee Nurseries will keep it watered and maintained until you're ready for pickup.
And Divvy Up, custom and creative sock designs that make the perfect stocking stuffer or secret Santa gifts. And for every pair of socks you buy, another pair of socks is donated to help the homeless in need. 'Tis the season to love your local. Find a full list of participating local businesses to love at oevforbusiness.org.
That's oevforbusiness.org.
For about 50 years, Paul's Termite and Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses for thousands of people right here in the Big Bend. And we're quite proud of that. Fact is, all of us here at Paul's have families, and nothing is more important to us than their protection. By providing effective termite and pest treatments, we know we're aiding many right here in our community.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control performs many services designed for the protection of your family and your home. Programs like Pro Shield Complete, which encompasses termite and general pest control in one low-cost quarterly treatment plan. This program is environmentally friendly and is almost exclusively limited to exterior treatments, meaning pests and termites never enter your home. Termite programs like Centricon, a service which requires no invasive drilling or liquid applications. Plus, our lawn care team keeps lawns and ornamentals green and healthy.
Protection of your family, your home, and our environment all are very important to each of us at Paul's. To learn more about our many programs, please visit us at callpauls.com.
For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks, but real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
That's an ugly game last night. A little basketball. I say I'm concerned. I am. They go through prolonged droughts here. They're still figuring out who they are. I've got faith it'll get worked out, so I probably shouldn't have been an alarmist there. But I would say that they've got some holes here. A little 15-3 run in the first half will hurt your feelings as it went against Florida State. But the bench came in and did a good job, and Florida State did hit some threes. This team can shoot. They're not great, but they can shoot. And I think as time goes on, you'll see that. But I do think that you see them most effective, Tom, offensively, when it's weird. Ham is going to have to get them to play the kind of defense you saw in the second half, which is the old school junkyard dog defense. When they play that way, it triggers their break, and they can use their athleticism. When they get a defensive stop, they get out in transition. They're able to attack the basket before defenses can get set up. When defenses do get set up, it gets bogged down. You know how I feel about that? That's reminiscent of just, over and over with the ball on the floor. Come on, guys. We got to move the ball. They'll figure themselves out, I think, in due time. But it's an interesting team, and they're kind of discombobulated right now. I guess that's to be expected early in the season with a bunch of new faces. There are guys here and there that you watch and you go, okay, all right, like Cameron Fletcher and Matthew Cleveland. You look at those kinds of players, you say, all right, I got faith that's going to continue to get better and better and better. And, of course, Caleb Mills is a quick player who can get to the basket, and he can score it when you need a basket. You can get a guy like that to go and get into the lane.
Well, he's also a quick to punch guy in terms of shooting the basketball. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to shoot the basketball. We've got a couple of guys who are not afraid to rise up and fire. Matthew Cleveland is another one who is no conscience about when he's letting the basketball go. And that's fine. That's fine, because last year we didn't have anybody who wanted to take charge. It looks like you've got some opportunities there and some options. To me, I look at this roster, and Leonard said last night he doesn't have a rotation right now. And it looks very much like that. I think there are some veteran players who maybe need to play fewer minutes right now.
Oh, yeah. I could name one of them.
Agreed. I think that Cameron Fletcher is going to be an absolute star once they figure him out and refine his game. Makes too many simple mistakes, plays where you go, what were you thinking? But then the athleticism shows up so often. I mean, he is a classic project, but there's a lot of clay to mold here.
And a little bit more refined than your classic project, in my opinion. He's got some basketball sense to him.
He does some, but then he'll make 3 or 4 mistakes where you go, have you ever played? Right. But that's just, it's a part of the growth process. We're asking him to do different things than I'm sure he was asked in high school, and looks like some different things than Kentucky was asking Cameron Fletcher to do as well. So I really like that piece to the puzzle. When it matures and gets to a place within this program that's developed, he's going to be a game changer for us. Anthony Polite needs to hit threes. I'm seeing too many players so far this season try to be things they're not. Dribble drive would be the place I'd start with a couple of players like Evans and Polite. Like, guys, spot up and shoot it. If they hit you in motion and stride and you've got a chance to pull the trigger, Anthony, that's your job.
Back-to-back games with Anthony Polite looking terrible. That's interesting. I also think he may have missed some time preseason with injury, and he looks like a guy that missed some time preseason with injury. And then from there, Tom, tough love Cameron's always got a guy. I hate that I have to do it usually, but I reserve.
Do you?
Well, it depends. Tough love Cameron comes into play here when I get on a guy that I think can play, but he's either not confident or timid, or he defers too often. His skill set suggests he should be more assertive. We've seen glimpses of it, and then he reverts to form. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't have tough love Cameron to go to here, because the guy that I'm criticizing is a guy that I don't think can play. So what's the point? And now, before people get mad, I'll tell you who it is in a second. I think it's obvious. I say he can't play. Well, not like this. Not like this. There is something going on up here, and it started a year ago, and apparently it doesn't take much to find it again, because it's right back to where we were square one last season around this time, where we went, what the hell's going on with him? And then it just never went away. Season ended, and we were like, what the hell's going on with him? And now here it was again last night. Raekwon Evans is...
That happened in Florida as well. There's a lot of plays.
Damn it, man.
There's a lot of plays where he's got the basketball in his hand. You're like, where are you going?
What are you doing? That's what
What
you
is
say.
the concept here?
Well,
Like, you
I
know.
mean, there's a lot of plays where you say, where are you going? What are you doing? Good God, can you be this bad? You end up saying lots of things to the TV.
Now he's bringing blocks to the party. He had 4 blocks last night.
I appreciate that you're
Maybe
still playing
offense for defense. Maybe offense for defense in late situations. These guys need some more time to develop. Though.
Of
Like the
course.
Polite example, that's a great one because there's 2 things going on. Number 1, there was the injury in camp, so he's working himself into shape. Number 2, maybe he's putting a little pressure on himself to be something more than he needs to be, which is a stout defender who can stretch a defense by hitting and have 1 or 2 sets of eyeballs occupied on number 2, because when he gets hot, that's your ass.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing is, I think when Mills finds his stroke, because he's leaving a lot of things short and not even close, when he finds his stroke, that's a kid who can go for 28 to 30 points. We haven't had a lot of those around here. They don't get the minutes, and the offense doesn't run that way. I think this year it might have to run such that Caleb Mills is going to rack up a lot of 24-plus point performances, and you could see that with the volume he's going to shoot. Absolutely, he can get there routinely this season.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'd be quick hook guy on Wyatt Wilkes because he can't defend you, and he's at power forward, which is not ideal instead of what his role was a year ago. And Cameron Fletcher's a better option there. So,
Yeah, I agree. But I think that this coaching staff, to put it kindly, likes to rotate a lot of bodies, and we like to start games off by stealing minutes at the tip-off. They've done that with a lot of trees in recent years.
We'll see. I don't know if we can steal any more minutes. We used to steal them with Kamaji, and
that's what I'm saying. You get to like it's 12 to 10 at the under 12, and you're like, there we go, perfect. Here comes our real lineup for the last 12 minutes of this half.
Yeah.
You just lost in that moment. That you didn't pull away by 8 to 10
You
early.
should have done something else.
Right,
Yes,
right.
I agree. We like to do that. We had different teams then, though, and again, he's feeling it out. I don't know how many times he's going to try to do that with Wyatt Wilkes this year.
Well, Worley and Cleveland appear to be solutions. Cameron Fletcher can be. It's boom or bust, but the boom is really nice. He said that John Butler is earning more time, and that's a kid.
Interesting. The other 7-footers got told to have a seat. They didn't play at all.
Yeah.
Ngom got in for 7 minutes and looked okay.
He was all right.
He was all right. Nice little hook there. Yeah. Okay. I mean, real work in action here. Real work in progress, I meant to say.
The thing is, on defense, they're giving up way too many threes on dribble drive, and that happened at Florida too. If Florida bothered to make a decent amount while the game was in balance, that stat about us being up 2 with 10 minutes to go, that's not even there. That's not. There were just way too many open looks.
Yeah.
And that's where a game like this one, or one that you don't circle on the schedule against a non-traditional opponent, can become real problematic, because if those kids decide to rise up and shoot and hit the way that Tulane did last night, you're in for a dogfight, because you can't guarantee that we're going to score 75, 80 points
Not right
tonight.
now, no. I said a week ago, I said before the Florida game, and I'll say it again, I'll keep reiterating it so people aren't like blown away as it happens. And maybe I'm saying it to myself because I tend to get emotionally invested in Florida State basketball quickly. They're going to be an average to middling bunch for a good portion of this season. They're going to be an average-ass basketball team up until at least the halfway point. I don't see some pending breakthrough here. I think they've got enough holes and roles to be defined and matchup issues. I do.
I think if Polite hits his threes,
That's
we
gonna
feel
help,
fundamentally different about the baseline. They'll be an above-average team that can really go on a run.
Yeah.
If Polite hits his
He's gotta get
that's
going.
what he's out there to do.
Yeah. It won't make certain other matchups go away.
Correct.
But yes, he's a better player than he's shown up to this point. Without question, he's a better player than we've seen up to this point. Hey, they got the win. At this point of the season, early in the year, when you're trying to figure things out and you're mixing and matching and you're trying to find the synergy that we're talking about here, and everybody can figure out what their roles are or are not, you just want to garner wins while you're doing it. The skill level and the depth of talent that Florida State has had over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons has allowed them to have these grand experiments early in years and win games, sometimes awfully close, but that while they were figuring it out, they were getting out to like I said yesterday, a 10-2 start, a 12-3 start, and you felt very good at the middle point of the season saying, okay, well, look, we got some room to spare. We could have an ugly night. We could have a night where we just don't hit shots, or the refs decide in Pittsburgh to allow the Panthers to go to the free throw line 57 times. I mean, It can happen, and you can wear that because you started out by winning all those close games while you were experimenting. I just don't know that we're going to build that margin for error that we've had in the past.
Yeah, this might be a little bit more edge of your seat stuff in middle February, late February.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the road trip to Purdue in the ACC Big Ten Challenge now looks daunting. Whereas you didn't worry for 2 or 3 years in a row. You're like, whoever it is, whatever.
Yeah.
We've got a real chance to win if we're not the outright favorite. This year, go on the road, play that Purdue team.
Doesn't feel good, does it?
That would be an upset.
Seems like it would be a pretty sizable one at this point, given where we're at.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do our part in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, Tom. We're not going to hold up the conference's pride and joy.
That kind of sounds weird. But even if we did, what do you think they'd do? They just show Notre Dame highlights and talk about Miami's accomplishments in the 80s like they were in the conference.
Oh, man. It is the Jeff Cameron Show on a Redemption Thursday. Warchant TV and 93.3 Real Talk Radio.
Your local news now.
The Tallahassee Police Department says they have arrested a man in connection to a fatal shooting that happened in the 600 block of West Georgia Street on November 4th. TBD says they learned the victim, an unidentified adult man, and 24-year-old Carl Denson Jr. knew each other and had a prior dispute over money. Denson located the victim sitting on a park bench and proceeded to shoot and kill him. Denson is facing charges of first-degree murder and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The Quincy City Commission voted 3-2 to fire city manager Jack McLean, giving him 30-day notice of termination as called for under his contract agreement. City Attorney Gary Roberts raised several concerns about potential legal issues with the decision. Among them, because the lawsuit McLean filed Monday, it could look like the contract termination is in retaliation in nature. McLean is suing the City Commission for approving a motion to freeze hiring and pay raises for city employees unless they're approved by city commissioners. McLean argued that this motion violates the city charter. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by McEnmore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to back store. Check them out online at McEnmoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly cloudy skies this afternoon with highs around 79. South winds around 5 miles per hour. Lows around 56. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Mainly clear skies and quiet. Tomorrow, highs around 71. Highs level off around 69. Saturday, under partly cloudy skies. 74 Sunday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 79.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Charlie Crist, he's running for governor. To mention the governor, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. And we see it in presidential. We see it all the time. It's the new norm. Leave us on local. That it should be. It's like, hey, I'm running for this local seat.
Do you understand? I heard a statistic that like half of our population reads at like an 8th grade level.
And what is the other 2/3 rate at?
That means almost half does not. You're right.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Good coach. Who's a good coaching candidate? Who's the guy for Duke? I would tell David Cutcliffe to have a good day after they get boat raced by Louisville tonight. Now, at the time that David Cutcliffe took over at Duke, He took over a program that was. Do you remember this, Tom? I knew it was bad, but I don't remember it being this bad. They were 4-42 over the previous 4 seasons. 4-42. Woo! Woo! That's some Kansas level suck right there.
Ooh, yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, right.
That's tough. So they had won 1 conference game and had 32 losses in conference during that stretch. Oof, that's a lot of losses. So that's toughy. So he gets there. He says, it will be better. I will make you better. And they did get better. They had some good years, including a 10-4 record in 2013. Remember that 2013 season was a special one, not just here, but also there at Duke.
Deadfish.
Yeah. The Deadfish handshake will be forever remembered. They went to the Peach Bowl that year, despite his anger at Jimbo Fisher. But 2019 and 2020 has seen Duke go 7-16. They are 3-7 this year.
They did go to the Peach Bowl. That was the Johnny Manziel runs over the
That's
photographer
right.
moment.
Oh, was that the big fat woman that was on the side there that his butt hits the camera right in her face?
That was the Johnny Manziel runs over the photographer moment.
You and I laughed uncontrollably for like an hour. We kept watching that replay. That poor woman.
That poor woman.
That's a great moment. So by the way, equal opportunity laugh at you guy right here. If you're a dude or a woman, old, young, doesn't matter. You get hit by a player, you're a cheerleader,
54
cameraman,
pounds, 354 pounds.
Doesn't make a difference to me. I love it. I want to see more of it. Every time people get run over on the sidelines, I think it's the best. Obviously, unless they're critically injured.
Right.
But yes, I love it.
Well, that was also the one time where it was Mario Pender was finally giving way to Dalvin Cook at Syracuse on the
But
road.
alas.
And that 85-year-old woman is near the sidelines,
Yes,
and
and
Dalvin
you're
Cook
going-
nearly destroys her.
And you're going, no. Yeah,
There was
a toughie.
fear in her face. I still have that photo on my phone.
Yeah, there should have been fear in her face. I mean, goodness gracious.
Why would you have anybody who is frail and elderly near the sidelines of a football game?
Listen, as a sporting crowd, if you will, or a nation that loves sport is a better way of saying it. We have a ridiculously bad habit of rolling out old ass people on game day. Before, after, during, halftime, you name it, we will roll an old ass person around the grounds of said sporting event. We love it. That's how we pay tribute to everybody.
She was like a cheerleader on the Ernie Davis
in the
team or something.
1932 season. Yes, it's insane. And we do it all the time, and invariably, it's a bad look. They're either on the verge of dying right there before us. They may or may not be on the cusp of being run over by an elite-level athlete who can't stop himself near a sideline, or they're wheeled out and drooling on themselves. And I think, where is the family? Why would you let this happen? Picture Ted Williams at the All-Star game. Yeah, that's a good picture, yeah. I mean, remember that? And, you know, they've done it with Steinbrenner, who I hated, who was a criminal, but Steinbrenner, they rolled out there. He's drooling on himself. He's cold and frightened. They don't just bring him out onto the field. He goes all around the warning track.
It's a victory lap.
Yeah, they're like, look, everybody, he's about to die. Look at that. It was insane.
Let's go, Yankees.
We do it all the time. Stop doing that. Anyhow, back to Cutcliffe. 7-16 combined these last 2 years, and they're 3-7 this year. And oh, by the way, they are over in the conference. They haven't won a game this year in the ACC, and they play Louisville tonight and Miami after that. Now, that's a great rivalry, Duke and Miami. We've seen some classics over the years. Miami, Duke go to war every time they face each other, but Duke, who's never beaten Florida State, may not beat anybody this year.
Remember, Miami needed the officials' help from the ACC to get over
Little
on
zig
Duke.
and zag
That's
and a
right.
bunch of clips.
About 7 missed calls.
7. If I'm David Cutcliffe, I bring this up because it's tonight's game, but if I'm David Cutcliffe, wouldn't you just call it a day? He's 67 years old. He's going to be the old guy that gets run over that we're talking about here soon enough. Call it a day.
Well, what victory lap are they going to have? Like the Manning Passing Academy? Is that like, they're going to drive around 15-year-old quarterbacks? Like, who's that old dude?
He did a great job there for a very long time, and I'll give him credit. But I think the time is not. We've seen this act before. We've seen it. We at Florida State know what it looks like when a guy's fastball is gone. When he's just throwing, 70 down the heart. Little BP every weekend. You can't have a guy out here rolling out throwing BP.
Yeah, but analysts still, they fall on that lazy trope. Like, it's amazing what David Cutcliffe has done here at Duke. Like, still today.
What are you going to do? Well, we're back here at Wallace Wade, where I'd rather not be, but this is the assignment I got for this afternoon's action. As you can see, Duke still sucks, as they always do. Let's take it to you, Johnny. The matchup today. I mean, what are you going to say?
Unbelievable the things that Cutcliffe has done here.
That's all you can do, though. It's like, unbelievable. Yeah, years ago, Johnny, it was amazing. This team has been asked for the last 5 years. Stop doing that.
I would place a specific call to one person only for that program. I would quietly have that person go through a competency exam because he's older than David Cutcliffe. But I would have him go through an exam, see if he still got his wits about him.
Yeah.
I'd ask him for the Rolodex. Do you have anybody reasonable that you could call that would take this job? Maybe somebody else they're on the way out. They want to retire in life, but they want one more shot. That call would be to Jim Grobe. I would call Jim Grobe.
See if he's still sharp.
He did.
See if Jim still
I think
got
it was the AFL 2 years ago. That's the last time he coached.
He was still coaching is the point.
He was the interim coach for Baylor after the Art Briles.
I'm going to give you one better.
One better than Grobe?
Yep.
Because Grobe has done it in this conference.
No. Steve Spurrier coached at Duke and won the ACC. Famously took the picture against North Carolina in front of their scoreboard after doing so. And he's always submitted a vote when he coached for them to be in the top 25. He was the one vote. He would always do it.
Yeah.
He loves him some Duke. In a weird way, he's all about some Duke. They wouldn't suck. They wouldn't.
I don't know that.
Oh,
I know that he might be falling asleep on the sideline.
Now, I'm not telling you that they're going to go win anything of significance, but my man is not going 0-8 in the ACC this year the way Cutcliffe's going to. Steve would get to 4 wins in the ACC.
4 conference wins?
Yeah,
or 4
out of 8 conference games? Come on, Tom. This is not a great conference. You get to play the Syracuses of the world. He'd coach circles around them. And you get to play.
Would he still?
Yeah, probably.
His concepts are so dated now.
You think Jim Grobe is over here reinventing football? I mean, my man.
Jim Grobe knows how to do more with less in a way that's unholy. In a way that's unholy. It's unbelievable.
I love Jim Grobe. I got to meet and have dinner with the man. He was awesome. I had enjoyed my conversation. He was every bit the Jim that we thought he was. When I called you that night, I told you, he's a peach. I love him.
I was so happy to hear that, too.
Yeah.
I admire the guy.
I do, too.
As far as I can tell.
Do you know, we get caught in this moment every time Jim Grobe comes up. But both sides, I don't know if Jim regrets it.
He's not even 70 yet, by the way.
He probably doesn't regret it. But I really feel like this whole mess at Nebraska could have been avoided had he just said yes when they offered him. They did offer him the job. They said, Jim, come save our ass. We are out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody wants to come here. We need you to run these old-timey systems to perfection so that we can retain our identity. We've always run these systems and matter. We don't matter right now. We had a little dance with the devil. We thought it'd be fun to kind of open it up and air it out. That was a mistake. We can't do that here. Come on. And Jim said, no, I'm good. I'm good right here at Wake. Oh, that is a kick in the cojones if you're in Nebraska. Can you imagine the moment a man turns you down to stay at Wake?
I don't like this conference. I don't like what it believes that we are because they're wrong about it. I don't like how it treats us like trash and they want to hold on high Notre Dame's accomplishments from 30 years ago as though they were wearing the ACC moniker at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
But I guess there's a part of me that does like the ACC if you and I are talking about trying to fix Duke, fix their football
I just
program.
like talking ball, baby. I love college football. I want to talk about coaching situations and who's a good fit where. And we got a lot of jobs open. TCU and all these other places. These are fun conversations. Yesterday we were talking about Virginia Tech. Who's a good fit at Virginia Tech? What job is Billy Napier going to pick? I love Billy Napier. I think he's perfect for LSU. That'd be a great hire.
He just needs to move on, wherever it is. Go.
But they look at him as less than because he's been at Louisiana. But I'd be like, look what he's done there. What do you mean? He can recruit the state. He's organized. He's a former Saban assistant. What are we doing? I'd hire him. But if they don't, think about the jobs available. And then you've got the USC job. Here we are talking about, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. We think the Miami job's going to be open. That's interesting. Who would take that job? Who's a good fit for that job? Quite possibly the guy that's the good fit is the guy that would never say yes to going to Miami, much to Miami's chagrin. If you're Miami, you want to hire a criminal because it fits your culture perfectly.
What?
You want to
Art
go.
Briles?
Lane Kiffin is who you want to hire. You want to hire his cheating criminal ass to come down there and run your criminal empire and keep all those kids there.
He'd be on
illegally.
Levitard every day.
That's what you want him to do. But he's never going to take that job. Why would you leave Oxford for Miami? That's a huge step down. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic, and the holiday insanity is upon us. It's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's New Year's, and oh my gosh, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Well, don't wait to Valentine's Day to give yourself some love. Come to Finn Chiropractic. Let us get to the cause of your headaches, neck pain, back pain, numbness, and tingling before the holiday insanity takes its toll. Contact us at finnchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to avoid expensive home repair bills. John, a former non-customer, said, "My air conditioner broke and I had to spend $1,900 to fix it." Jeff, a customer, wrote, "My..." "9149 800-826-9149.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Check out warchant.com to watch the Chris Ricks Dominic Robinson feature. It's awesome, and good on you. Good on you, Chris. That's well done. Yeah. He's I think Chris and I have buried the hatchet.
Oh, really? Should put a breaking news lower third, Matthew. Get it ready.
I think so. People are asking, Tom. He tagged me in a tweet.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
What was the tweet?
Well, he was thanking Warchant.
Screw you?
No, would have been funny. Would have been bold for Chris. He was thanking Warchant for the video and having fun and all that good stuff. And then he tagged a lot of people, including yours truly. So I guess.
Is that enough for you to come to the table?
Is that a peace offering?
Yeah. Is that enough for you?
I'm following you, Jeff. I've laid down my arms and I'm following you. Okay, you can follow. I won't block you.
It has been about 16,
It's
17
been a long
years.
time. I've
What are we
matured.
doing?
You've matured. We're all in different places in our lives.
He actually put it up. That's great.
We have a greater perspective on the world, our place in it, what matters, what doesn't. And, 20-year-old beefs over quarterback play. Come on.
Remember where you were on this day. Boy, there's a lot of closure going around. There's closure to a story that, you've kind of told on the air over time.
Oh,
that happened yesterday.
Yeah, that happened yesterday.
There's closure with what is
Hey,
the healing? Mike Norvell, you are healing all of us.
Let me just say this, okay? The healing that occurred last night, Tom. There is a weight lifted off my shoulders that I cannot begin to describe to you. And you know what I'm talking about, and I can't get into too much detail. But there was an individual in this town. He knows who he is. Who lost a wager to yours truly many moons ago. It was not a small wager. Don't post that.
I won't.
Okay, well, I mean, old director
Matthew didn't know what had happened. He goes, wait a minute. There's a
he
new
doesn't
chapter
know.
to the story.
Oh, I'll have to tell him during the break. But I finished up the golf show last night, and I went over to one of our favorite places, the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. On my way home, I go right past there, Tom, and it has tentacles. It just says,
"Oh, it does."
Why don't you swing on in? It's been a long week.
The tentacles are strong enough to grab your QX80 and drag them on over.
That's correct.
Hey, that's a left-hand turn signal. I
just
see.
Pulled on in. Now, I actually, you know what I did? I did that thing which is so stupid. I did the thing where you don't eat all day, and then it occurs to you haven't eaten all day, like not a single meal. I didn't eat yesterday.
Through the end of the show?
Through the end of the golf show.
Oh,
the golf show's over at 10.
God.
I hadn't eaten.
Stay away from a brewski because that'll hit you like 5.
Well, I wasn't drinking, but I just decided that I am starving and the Corner Pocket's right here. And this is not a commercial. It's true. I love their wings. I really do. I said, screw it. I've got to get some wings. I got to get some food in me. And I knew that I could go home and watch the end of Florida State. Well, while I waited on the wings, I could watch the end of Florida State basketball. I did.
Yeah.
I didn't eat all of them.
drums?
All drums. That's right.
That's right.
That's what I got. Yeah. And I shared them with my oldest son and all that good stuff. But when I got home, because he was still doing homework, that's ridiculous.
Garlic heat? What'd you get?
No, teriyaki heat. Yeah. So bottom line is, this person strolled into the CP. And I thought, that is bold. He and I are going to have a conversation. And we did. And the matter has been settled. And I can't tell you what a relief that is. It has been bothering me for a long time.
Yeah, fluffy Bisquick pancakes.
I mean, I'm a reasonable man with a family. I've got priorities and responsibilities, but I was thinking somebody's going to have to get hurt at some point here. This is ridiculous.
Oh, now we're puffing out our chest a little bit.
No. I wouldn't do the hurting. I was going to hire somebody privately.
Oh, really?
I can't be.
You got a guy?
I can't be involved.
You got a guy?
No, it's just, we're talking about an amount where that kind of thing can happen. And it was troubling. It was just bothering me. It wasn't like a $300 bet between you and I or something. It's
right.
like, I mean, come on, man.
By the way, there's 3 of those. I mean, just what are we doing here?
So today's a good day. The healing has happened. Today is a healing kind of. What a redemption Thursday we are involved in.
I feel redeemed.
Yeah, I know. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Let's go back over those wagers. We'll do it in a second.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Biden, Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau, and Mexican President Lopez Obrador are meeting. The North America Leaders Summit is underway at the White House. The three find themselves facing deep differences on migration, climate, and trade. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell for the 7th straight week. to a pandemic low 268,000.
The Labor Department says jobless claims dipped by 1,000 last week from the week before. The drop in the number of applications for unemployment aid reflects the labor market's strong recovery from last year's intense coronavirus recession. The 4-week average of claims also fell to a pandemic low of just below 273,000.
Correspondent Jeremy House, jobless claims have been edging lower toward their pre-pandemic level. House Republicans have introduced legislation, a bill aimed at blocking President Biden from reopening a U.S. consulate to the Palestinians in Jerusalem, since it was shuttered by President Trump in 2019.
The legislation has the support of more than 100 GOP lawmakers, underscoring the partisan divide over how Congress should approach the conflict between Israelis and Palestinians. The proposed bill, called the Upholding the 1995 Jerusalem Embassy Law Act of 2021, prohibits the use of funds for any diplomatic facility in Jerusalem other than the U.S. Embassy. Mr. Trump bypassed a waiver in 2018, moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, closing the diplomatic mission to the Palestinians. Mr. Biden says he intends to reopen the U.S. consulate to the Palestinians in the Holy City, a move that has garnered opposition from across Israel's political spectrum. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
The jury at Kyle Rittenhouse's trial has begun deliberating for a third day with a new defense request for a mistrial. That mistrial motion sparked by a jury request Wednesday to rewatch video in the case. Rittenhouse's attorneys say the defense received an inferior copy of a key video from prosecutors. The Dow is down 52 points, the NASDAQ up 18. More at townhall.com.
Why are cash out refinances such a big deal right now? Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them the cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. Every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license, CAC 1816-186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't think. Yeah, no. It's got to be a thing. You got no.
You know, like it looks like the criminal cousin of the Bill on Capitol Hill. That logo with the wave. I think it's kind of cool.
Kind of does, but it's not cool. You know, also, I would hate to be a tiger or a lion, meaning not in life, although that would be a tough life. I'm talking about like as a mascot. It's so generic. It would suck every time you put on your stupid tiger shirt. You'd look like a fool. It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm one of 700 tigers to play sports. We're not unique in any way.
Right. Yeah. It's like if you're Clemson and Auburn, the fight song's basically the same.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. Your mascot's the same. Yeah. You're both a lot of orange. And then if you're Clemson, then the other Tigers, the Bayou Bengals of LSU, you have the same stadium name. Like, come on now. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think
like LSU should just change their name to the Bayou Bengals.
Now, LSU might be the lone exception to my Tiger rule because the Tiger Eye on the field is badass.
You can do that.
It's one of the coolest things in terms of on a field of play that you'll ever see. I love it.
Agreed.
And you love it when we went to Alex Box because right up there in the right field bleachers above that with their freaking 6 national championships or whatever, and you have the giant Tiger's eye. It's a good look. That's a good look. So they get the exception. They don't have a stupid paw, none of that nonsense. They got the cool eye.
You could still do that if you were the Bayou Bengals. That's all I'm saying. It's way cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as you can't say it as quickly as like, go Tigers. Go Bayou Bengals. Like it doesn't roll off the tongue that way, but that's just that's who they are. They're from the Bayou.
Yeah, that's a fun city. That's a great fan base. That's a good job. We were talking jobs last hour. That's a lot of fun to talk about. I love it.
Food's good up there.
Food is really good.
Right there by Biloxi or New Orleans if you want to get out of town.
That's a cool bar you and I ate at. There's 2 of them. I think they got rid of one of them. By the way, the one we went to was considered the classic, the first, but I think it closed since we left.
What? You mean
with the wood,
the platter of food?
Where I had the red snapper.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's on the Rich Drag. What are you talking about? They shut that down.
Yeah, I think they did.
That could have survived.
Oh, I don't know why you'd ever close that place. It was awesome. They had the dark, rich mahogany bar and the whole
Cajun seasoned sausage plate. And like I thought it would be a normal plate. That came out, it was a baking sheet.
It was
incredible. Oh my God. No wonder a lot of people around here have a hard time getting out of their chairs.
It was fun. Yeah, they're not the healthiest group up there.
No,
not the healthiest group. Yeah, but it's true. The SEC has 4 Tigers alone.
Somebody called it Cancer Alley on that.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. I don't think that's a healthy place. It's a fun place, but I do not think that is a healthy place.
Very hospitable people, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when you're fat and drunk, everybody's happy. We party every day. I mean,
there's another great shirt.
When you're fat and drunk,
everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Not healthy.
Right.
But happy.
But yeah.
And dead by 52.
We were there. Oh man. And the animals set up their tailgate not too far from Alex Box. And I think it was 3 different groups walked over and brought food.
Oh,
and
yeah.
said, welcome to Baton Rouge, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
As a fan base, they're great. There's no doubt. Redemption Thursday wagers to recap for you here as brought to you by our friends at Metro Deli. Yay, Metro Deli. Speaking of good food, good people, all that good stuff, that's them. Houston, Memphis, we're going over 59.5. There it is.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Louisville, Duke, we're going over 60 points there. Give me Florida State on the money line over Boston College. I like Michigan to romp over Maryland. I'll give the 14.5. UCLA will win the rivalry game against Southern Cal, who's been terrible and is in need of a new coach, seemingly all the time. I'll give the 3 there. Oregon State's getting 3 against Arizona State. Arizona State may be looking for a coach, too. And it's not so much because of the record. Herm's done a decent job there, but they're wrought with scandal. They've had several assistant coaches on staff not be able to work this year, a little bit like Willie. Situation at Arizona State where, I think 3 or 4 coaches couldn't coach. They were on administrative leave. They had all kinds of issues. Yes, that investigation didn't reveal a good situation, but rather a toxic culture. Herm, who preaches all the time about doing the right thing, seemingly ignored that it was not being done, and there are some run-amok situations during the pandemic. So they're probably going to tell him to have a good one, and he can go back to telling people not to be on Twitter. But in the interim, that Arizona State job is one that when we have the coaches debate about what's what, is it a good job? Is it not a good job? That's not a great job. It's hard to win out there. Now, I've been to that campus. It's awesome. And it compares to Florida State's campus in the right way, if you know what I'm saying. It's very impressive. But that's not part of the job application.
Well, it is if you're Hugh Freeze or some other
yes,
people.
That's correct. Yes.
Better or worse than Virginia Tech? I think Virginia Tech's a better job.
I think it. Oh man, I don't.
It's close, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, the kids from the DMV area can play, like legit play. That's a good area. That's one of the underappreciated areas that we delved into under Jimbo. We did a great job in that part of the country. They got some players there. Arizona, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, no, Arizona doesn't. That's part of the problem.
Prove me wrong, AJ Duffy.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. That's a tough one, man. That is their Arizona State. When I was a kid, I liked that job. I love that stadium. I love the mascot. I do. That part of Arizona is beautiful. It doesn't seem like you can win big out there, but you can win relatively big at Virginia Tech. Like not sustained. You're not going to. You're not going to
be a top
be
20 team.
Yeah,
like consistently.
And I think that's what you can do at Arizona State too. You could be a top 25 team.
Maybe. I think it's the 90s talking.
I'd rather live there than Blacksburg.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah.
That's, you're talking
you
about
get the right guy, you could be a top 25.
where you hang your hat? Sure. You
Yeah,
want to go to
yeah,
Arizona State, no doubt.
I think so.
Go to waste management in the offseason.
Nonetheless, I took Oregon State. Give me Cal, give the 1.5 to Stanford. Now, I'd love the Stanford job. If you could get the job in Palo Alto, the standards are pretty low, at least on the field. So you go to a bowl every year, you're probably not going to get fired, and you get to live in Palo Alto, which doesn't suck. That would be ideal. Shaw's about to coach his way out of that job, which would be a shame for him, but that's a good gig if you can get it.
You know what? That's who Duke should go get. Go get Shaw. There you go.
I don't know. I would get somebody else. But Shaw will have a gig on TV as soon as they fire him. And he got it. He had a good run. He had a decent run, but it's all fallen to hell. Hawaii plus 2.5 against Colorado State. West Virginia -3 against Texas. Speaking of going to hell. Oh, sorry about that there. I see you, Dazio. I'm taking Hawaii. I've bet against Colorado State for weeks on end, and it's proved lucrative. Teaser pleaser. I'll go ahead and cook down that New England number to a 0.5 point, Tom Wang. I'll cook it down. And then I got Baltimore. I did the thing that you're not supposed to do, which is I cross 0, but I'm crossing 0 with my points added, and I'll take Baltimore plus a point. They just got to win the damn game.
All right. Which one do you feel best about?
The teaser pleaser.
Oh, really?
Well, you know what's weird about that? I say that, but the NFL is drunk. Every weekend we watch games now. I mean, San Francisco just got, and I know they've owned McVay, and I know they've owned the Rams, but there's no reason for that game to not even be competitive. The Rams weren't competitive. I'm starting to worry about the Rams, and I don't worry about them. I hope they fade.
Everybody's flawed. Every single team is flawed.
It feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like you've got quite a few flawed teams.
Watch the Chiefs reemerge out of this whole thing.
Oh,
they're on the rise.
They're on the rise. They may have just done it. Well, they had to beg your boy to take a check down. When you got the best tight end in the league, take the check down, my man. Take the check down. And he finally did.
Who do they have this week? It's a good game. I gotta take a look at that.
Is it Chiefs Cowboys? Chiefs, is that right?
I believe that's it. Yep.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, that may be a game for the ages.
Could be. It is a uniform game for the ages.
Yeah. But the NFL is if you are trying to make a living betting on the NFL, we're in a pool together, and I was in third going into last week, kicking ass against the spread in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And even that is,
hey, buddy, we're 1 week away from Thanksgiving games.
Yeah, and they're all indoors this year. The hell out of here with that nonsense. I hate it.
Well, the Dallas game's always been indoors. The Detroit game's always been indoors.
You don't have to have the New Orleans game. Why are we throwing them on there? Can we get an outdoor game?
Yeah. And that 12:30 game is always awful. Always.
Most of them are awful. We just like it as background noise so we could go sleep on the couch after stuffing our face.
It's Bears-Lions. It's always Bears-Lions. It's always terrible. I play in a one-day only turkey bowl where we do a fantasy draft for the day with my family. That's what keeps it interesting. Around 12, 1 o'clock is when nap time. It's funny. Nap time has gone from the nieces and nephews to maybe my parents.
Yeah, the parents are taking naps.
So we always run over to Oldsmar to a certain little watering hole on a Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Thanksgiving afternoon.
Nice. I like that.
Where we collect and we watch the 12:30 game and something else, inevitably. Something else that's on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 12:30 game's awful.
Well, then you're watching like a rerun of the Golden Girls or something like that. I mean, there's nothing.
Always a good play. Or some sort of Thanksgiving NCAA basketball tournament. You know, the battle for Atlantis or some such thing.
It's tough for me as much as I sink my teeth into Florida State basketball, which we talked about last hour. And once I'm in and I'm locked in and ready to roll. I can't quite spread that same sort of passion around to the rest of the country until we get past Thanksgiving for some reason with basketball. I'll watch. I'll flip over and get a feel, especially if you have a high-profile game against a team or with a couple of teams that we're going to actually play. So if it's a high-profile ACC, SEC matchup or something like that, I'll watch. But I struggle to get locked in because I'm still lingering around with the NHL, obviously, in full bloom. College football, pro football, got a lot on our plate. I've already invested some in the NBA because of my oldest right now, so I'm having a hard time getting over to college.
The NHL was smart. They would do an outdoor game on Thanksgiving. Just put one in Canada every year, and it's a noon puck drop. There you go. Way better than the New Year's one. Who's going to tune into that? I don't tune into it.
And it's cool.
You've got college football on New Year's Day. That's a reserved holiday.
More football, not less football. And I'll tell you something right now. How blessed have we been on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week? Both those games turned out to be awesome. And last night we got extra football. Overtime. You didn't watch the Northern Illinois? It was great. You're missing out, Tom. We've been given a gift. On Tuesday, that game came down to the wire. Got a fat man interception to secure the deal. Then last night, you get an overtime affair. You're going to miss it. You're going to miss it.
Eugene Levy, he's right. I was watching the Noles last night. I couldn't have split attention.
You got more than one television.
I had to watch us pound
place.
The ball into the pavement.
I'll talk about that next. I need a reset to talk about that. I hated that game last night. I'm glad we won it, but I didn't like it.
I felt like 2011 all over again.
It felt awful. It reminded me how much I didn't like watching us when we were playing back then. I mean, we won, but I hated it. I'll take wins, but God,
I hate it.
Oh, it's just. You're like, God, this ball's not moving at all. Everybody's just standing around. This is terrible. Chef Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck, tractor, or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. And Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. I'm just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours? Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry. 4 hours? I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water. 8 hours? Don't worry about us. We're fine. At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mandlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
Your home is where your memories live, where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Florida Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for over 75 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. I'm Andy Cohen with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance. Please call me at 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com. Wave Tulane squad that did give us fits last night. And, they're starting slowly, Florida State is, and we understand why. You've got a lot of new faces here, and I think Florida State struggled against the matchup zone, and we know that. But when we get stops defensively, like the old school way of playing here, we get out in transition, we look athletic, we look good, we give ourselves opportunities, we get to the basket, and like on the Cleveland dunk and all that good stuff. So you see that. If you look at the first half stats, we did overcome the slow start largely because of a 15-6 advantage. Familiar for Florida State off the bench. This is a year in and year out thing where the Noles tend to have that advantage. They converted 13 of 29 from the floor. That's nearly 45%. We were 6 of 14 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Tulane shot just 39% from the field, but they did go 6 of 11 from 3. And that was Tom's point last hour. Too many open looks from Trey, and in certain teams that can make those, you got a problem on your hands. Florida State did hold a 7 rebound edge over the Green Wave at halftime, 21-14, but we turned it over 10 times, and that'll hurt your feelings. So had to gather ourselves into the second half. Low scoring, old school looking game from back in the day, 2010, 2011, 2012. Where defense rules the day. It was 42-34 with about 14 minutes left to play in the game. So from there, we did get some plays around the rim. Fletcher had a layup. We had an and one situation, fast break from Raekwon Evans, who didn't do a damn thing in this game and looked terrible yet again, and seems to have lost his confidence a long time ago. And I'm not sure can play at all and needs to probably sit the bench. But yeah.
So the starters in this game, and that's Malik, Wyatt, Raekwon, Anthony, and Caleb Mills, 12 of 38 from the field. They were 4 for the world from 3. We didn't hit a three-pointer the entirety of the second half. We need to shoot better. You've got to get more out of those guys. You just point blank, you got to make some more shots. 12 of 38 for your starting 5.
Anthony Blythe was 0 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Correct. That's a guy you count on for 2 to 3 a night. If Wyatt's going to be out there to start halves or games, you need at least 2 threes from him a night because the plus minus will not look good otherwise when we play ACC competition.
No.
You need guys to make buck. Caleb Mills needs to be better. Now, he's working through it, and you can see it. You can see the flashes.
By the way, old John Butler can shoot.
Oh, yeah, he can.
He can really shoot. Yeah. You get something from him every night.
Well, for being $150, you better be able to.
Yeah.
But that's his game.
Yeah.
He's growing into something else. But for right now, he's somebody to stretch the court. That's a weird matchup, an awkward matchup.
Yeah, he's always going to be able to get a shot off.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you're not blocking his shot. Matthew Cleveland had 5, but every time I look at him, I think, man, that's a star in the making in due time. He was 2 of 6, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, but 7 boards, 3 assists, and 20 minutes off the bench. You always see him doing something that positively affects your team, and he's one of those guys. And Tanner Ngom did get in. I think they're going to need something from him this year. 3 points last night. Good-looking jump hook, and was 1 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, just 7 minutes off the bench.
But
so
maybe that's the rotation. You start your game with Tenor like you did in the past. You try to steal 8 minutes if you can. Rack up a couple of fouls. Who cares? Doesn't really matter. And then you put yourself in a position to allow the athletes to be on the court for, the tail end of the half. Maybe that's the path, because right now, that starting 5, you feel like you're way behind the 8 ball when the game tips off.
Do you think it was odd that Malik Osborne scored all of 2 points in the second half of a close game?
I feel like he's in the middle of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just struck me as kind of
he's not on the list of people where I'm like, come on now.
No, no, I'm not mad. I just thought that was interesting. One of your more physically imposing players, one of your most experienced players. He's not afraid.
I think your take on Polite is correct, that he's getting up to speed.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He's a better player than we've seen. But he's been bad so far.
What we've seen are a lot of different players, Polite one of them. I mean, like the drive. Is it ever a good idea to drive? He got bailed out with a couple of whistles last night. It's like, where are you going? Where are you going with that basketball? Raekwon Evans, same thing.
Get him off the floor.
Wyatt did that last year. It continues into this year, where it's, hey, man, we're kicking it out to you for a reason, and then it's pump, fake, dribble to settle for an 18-footer?
You're a spot-up shooter, catch and shoot.
Yeah.
That's what you do, Wyatt, catch and shoot. If you're not going to do that, then you don't need to be out there. We can replace you with Cameron Fletcher. As far as Evans goes, I mean, I'm at my wit's end, I mean, I hate it for the kid. There was a moment in time where he looked like a player. It's been over a year since that time. He was awful last year. He's starting this year dreadfully. He looks like he immediately lost his confidence. After one good game, he's now had 2 bad ones, and he looks like a kid who reverted back to not believing in himself. So that's frustrating.
I refuse to underestimate this staff's ability to make something more than what you see out of a kid. Like, they always develop somebody, and they pull rabbits out of the hat all the time.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Last year, they found a way to get to the 16 when, they were crashing and burning in March. So I give them credit for that. I just feel like this year, we've all said it any number of different ways, but the analogy is the jigsaw puzzle is on the table. We haven't really started assembling anything. Whereas for the past 4 or 5 seasons, about, what do you think, a half of it, 3/4 of it were all put together?
Yeah, as soon as you walk through the door, you're like, oh, well, this is easy.
Right.
We don't have that many
pieces
left.
You've got the corners all
Just
set.
like,
You've got the frame.
Oh, yeah, this is good. Oh, this is clearly the tail. Yeah, no, that was
for him. It's this year. He's like, all right. It's a whole lot of blank white pieces here, man. This is not a cool landscape.
Before we take a break and come back and solve for the future from our friends at ISF, I do want to ask you, did you ever put together like model airplanes and cars and ships and stuff as a kid?
Tried one.
You never had the patience for it?
No, sir.
Me neither.
Jigsaw puzzles, like even if
fun,
it's 1,000 pieces, who cares?
Yeah.
I'd get down. My dad and I would go to war on that.
Yeah.
There's also something pleasing about walking by the kitchen table and seeing one, and like you spend
it draws you to it.
10 to 15 minutes a day. Just
I see. Oh, look, got one. Yeah. No, you get excited. Yeah.
Our process was always the meticulous. You build the frame and then go outside to in.
Yeah, I think we're the same way. Yeah, I'm with you on puzzles. I couldn't do it. I tried with the car. I could do it, but I hated it. I didn't have the patience to sit there as a kid and put together a model car. Also, I used to think to myself, what am I going to do with this stupid thing when I'm done with it? So what? I got a stupid plastic car I put together. Great.
Right.
You have to love cars if you're going to do that. Like, you'd have to, I'm going to put together this GT whatever and do this. Yeah.
I remember my aunt and uncle getting me 2 years in a row. I think they were like full models. Like, they're already constructed of race cars and stuff or sports cars. And it's like, look, they even have the real engine in there. I'm like,
great. It's a car. Okay. Yeah, can't even really do anything with
it. Goes on my desk, I guess.
I'm going to throw it in the garbage when you leave.
Oh, well, no.
But people, you got grown-ass men out here in the shed with trains. hours on end putting together tracks and all that. I'm like, come on, man. We got it. I know we're all going a little crazy, but let's do something productive with, let's say, yard work.
I don't know very many that do that now, but like in my grandfather's generation, that was a thing.
There was nothing else to do.
Because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah,
you got to go to Lionel.
In your grandfather's generation, you worked 18-hour days in the field. It was difficult. Your hands hurt all the time. There wasn't, there was no electricity.
Think about that. That's an underrated moment in Coming to America when he's got the bar and the train goes like 2 feet.
Yeah,
like, whoop, whoop. And then he just laughs. John Amos like, what? You see that? You see that? It's like, what?
I visited. There's I can't bring this up, but there's somebody in town that has a bunch of train stuff, and I was like, oh, there's nothing worse than when somebody's really proud of the thing, and you're like,
well, damn, man, to each their own. Can't appreciate that they have a passion for it.
I didn't chide the man.
You're not judging him?
Maybe a little, but internally, I remember walking in, and he was very proud. I was like, oh, that's it. How many years you been doing this train?
There it is. See, that question is so loaded.
He
How
told
many years
me
you been doing this with the children's toys? I mean, you just hear it.
Matthew's thinking about the time with our friend. You still doing the whippity-doo?
Oh, Frisbee.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A Gadsden County deputy survived a hail of gunfire thanks in part to her bulletproof vest. 27-year-old Gadsden County Deputy Chikara Hearns, a 3-year veteran of the department, underwent successful surgery and will likely be released from Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare within a week. After chasing a suspect in a stolen car Tuesday, Hearns was shot 3 times, according to Sheriff Young. Her vest prevented most of the damage, but 1 bullet hit her liver. The suspect, Dexter Antonio Lawson, faces 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, and stolen car charges. The Tallahassee Police Department is investigating a shooting that happened at the Hub Apartments on Ocala Road. The shooting happened around 9 p.m. Wednesday. Officers responded after several people reported gunshots in the area. Police found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. TPD says so far there are no witnesses and they have no suspect information at this time. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly cloudy skies this afternoon with highs around 79. South winds around 5 miles per hour. Lows around 56. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Mainly clear skies and quiet tomorrow. Highs around 71. Highs level off around 69 Saturday under partly cloudy skies. 74 Sunday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 81.
The pandemic has brought challenges for us all, but for parents affected by HIV, it has been even more difficult. After struggling to afford food, rent, utilities, and medical care, buying their children holiday gifts may be an impossible financial burden, but you can change that. Become a holiday angel and help Big Bend Cares create a joyful holiday season for everyone. This year, more than ever, be an angel, a Big Bend Cares holiday angel. Find out how you can help at bigbendcares.org.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
It's Congressman Michael Waltz on the Greg Tish Show.
Good morning, Congressman. How are you doing?
Hey, doing well.
Again, just what you have to go through day in and day out. I don't know how you have hair left, or like Matty Rowe, just completely bald.
Hey.
Sorry.
And the irony of it all, the progressives are the tail wagging the dog. This whole bipartisan White House is a joke. We're just watching them, eat their own.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
sure you can go back and find that. It was at noon. And I'm sure it was informative. I mean, knowing those folks and our partnership and what they are and how hard they work and how much they care about you and where you work and what you're trying to do, there's no doubt there are some challenges inherent in government operations, but they'll help you navigate that. The IT strategy firm that is ISF, 40 years they've served the state. They also serve the nation. That's the loyalty right there. They're getting things done. Clients all over this country, and they're experts in that government process that can get you bogged down. They've worked with government agencies all over the country as well. Unmatched expertise in developing strategies to get to where you want to go. Forward thinking, smart, using technology, all that stuff. They help state government solve the future through strategy, process, and technology. For us, Tom, is it that easy? Should I just say what I was just saying? I don't want to be mean, but for Florida State, I mean, limiting Evans' minutes, increasing others, solving for the future of this season. It's an early starting point. I also wonder, let me ask you this, as we try to work through it in the same way that ISF does with you. It's, I mentioned earlier about what you could do potentially with Wyatt if he doesn't start well. Let's get him off the floor pretty quickly.
That is an option.
Well, he's not a good defender, so that's why I say that. I mean, it's like, a man's going to get beat. If you're not scoring, I can't help you.
Well, his only hope is to swipe the ball away.
Yeah. And then from there, I mean, I think that, again, with the Evans situation, it's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I mean, Ham is really loyal, but when a guy is that bad, and he was again last night, let's look at these numbers again. Let me double check on those. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but I'm making a case to get him off the floor. Yeah, he was 1 of 8. It felt worse than that. He was 1 of 8, missed his only free throw attempt. Thanks for the 4 turnovers to go along with the 2 assists. It's one game, but that's on the heels of another bad game. And we saw this song and dance a year ago.
Correct.
How long would you wait to solve the future for this basketball team?
The future is not about the starters, if that makes sense. Not in this program.
It's always about the bench.
So when you get that tweet from @FSU Hoops, right, or you follow the esteemed colleagues we have here at warchant.com who beat
correct.
FSU Hoops to the announcement of who's starting for Florida State on a given night, don't freak out at that moment. What you want to see is after the game is over, who played 20 minutes or more. And I think you're going to see those answers. That solution is coming in the near future. By what? Middle of December? Late December?
I think as we do this feature with our partners at ISF, it is kind of interesting. Yeah, we can talk about personnel. We can talk about which guys need less time on the floor, which guys seem to need more, and where we're going to get to. But this is really about watching very closely how long does Ham stick with certain guys that – listen, one thing I really like about him, and he's unwavering in his principles, which is a great thing. And he's waited it out before where guys actually finally do turn the corner when I had already given up on him and many others had too. So I always defer here, but I don't think he's afforded that same sort of luxury this year. This team's isn't built that way. They're not good enough to get away with it. So I think what we're talking about here is, and it's fascinating, how soon does he start to kind of wane some of those minutes for guys who have done things the right way, who've bought in, who've worked hard, who understand the defensive principles, who are good kids, and they represent the program really well, but they're just not performing well? He's always been deferential to them in a good way. He admires that sort of commitment. It helps the overall organization really go. But if you're not producing, if you're a consistent 0 and a turnover, I mean, we gotta go. We gotta move.
Well, the question, okay, so what you're looking for distribution of minutes is the relationship between Evans and Jalen Worley. I think that's going to be your answer. So Worley didn't hit 10 minutes last night.
No, and he looks completely lost right now.
That's where they got to grow and grow fast.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, if you're going to struggle, would you rather struggle with a 7th-year player, right, or somebody who is a freshman and is going to learn quickly? Somebody that you circled on the recruiting trail as a potential solution. I think that's what you're looking for down the line. Now is not that time. You've got to confirm. Before you make a move with somebody who's been with the program for a little while, you got to confirm and know that this isn't just a mini slump. This is a continuation of last year as a whole before you make that change. Because the kid's going to struggle too when he goes in. And you can't waffle and go back to Raekwon the moment that Worley struggles. The other number to look at, Matthew Cleveland nearly cleared 20 minutes on the court last night. Good. The more minutes he gets, the better I feel about who we are and the situation that we're going to be in. And Cameron Fletcher, that's the final piece. That dude, I'm going to be a broken record. That guy is a pure difference maker.
Oh, absolutely he is. And he would be getting more time at power forward if Wyatt Wilkes is sitting his ass.
Yes, but I don't know that he's ready for the ACC yet.
Well,
I mean, you got to that growth process is going to be critical over the next 6 weeks.
This is why it's going to be, again, a little discombobulated, a little junky, a little ugly, a little, growing pains are hard to watch. It's not a smooth process. What is a smooth process is signing on with our friends at ISF, Tom. They'll help you get to where you want to go. You're going to advise, if you're a client from ISF, they'll protect and advance your business and technology objectives. That's what they do. You and your staff work hard. Your constituents depend on you. You have brilliant ideas, and you want to improve the process. You want to streamline workflows. ISF does all of that. They help solve the future. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Looking for a great deal on fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Xfinity for a great low price of $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. Or did you know you may be eligible to qualify to get free internet for a limited time through the Emergency Broadband Benefit Program? That's right. You could qualify for free internet and get equipment included at no extra cost while this temporary program lasts. That's incredible savings on fast, reliable internet. Visit Xfinity.com/free to learn more. Ready for even more value? Add Xfinity Mobile, and you could save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Ends 12/31/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares optimized pricing of top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Choose Hearth & Patio for custom fireplaces, maintenance, outdoor grills, kitchens, fire pits, lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth & Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth & Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. We've experienced a couple of blockbuster months recently. What does that mean to you? It means we have a whole lot of quality pre-owned vehicles. And just when there are rumors about high prices on pre-owned cars, you guessed it. At Kraft Nissan and Infinity, we are discounting every single pre-owned car, truck, and SUV on our lot. Instead of Dad dreaming of a new truck or SUV, why not bring him out to the Kraft Brothers lot on Mahan Drive to look at SUVs and trucks and match what he wants. Kraft Pre-Owned has dozens of Toyotas, some Ford F-150s, and Ram 1500s. And of course, we have a big supply of Infinity and Nissan vehicles. If we don't have what you're looking for, we will do our level best to find the car you want. Let other dealers charge you too much for pre-owned cars. Kraft Nissan and Infinity are saying now, right now, is the best time of the year to save on a quality pre-owned vehicle. Kraft Nissan and Infinity of Tallahassee on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if the car you are looking for doesn't have the Kraft tag on it, you'll pay too much, way too much.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, you know these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
If you want to find out what it's about, go in there, take a look around. They'll tell you about the process, the scientific manner with which they improve your fitness. How you can watch your growth, monitor your heart rate, all that good stuff. Get stronger, get healthier, both from a cardiovascular standpoint, but also increased strength. So it's all there for you. And typically that first month is free if you're a new member with a heart rate monitor purchase. So you're good to go. And that, I think what you do the first class and you talk to the coaches and you get some insight as to how the process works, you'll get addicted pretty quickly. I know I did. So it's Orange Theory Fitness. There's 2 locations in town, one of them being in Midtown. I'm so excited I beat the microphone here. But there's one in Midtown and there's one out there on Thomasville Road by the, I guess I'll give a free plug here to the Fresh Market.
So, a question for you. We haven't talked a whole ton about it this week because it's hard not to look back more at a rivalry win, one in which you have a 4th and 14, in which in the stands are a bunch of Miami fans frothing at the mouth over 5 in a row over Florida State. And in that moment, they see Andrew Parchment's wide open for a first down, and they realize that Florida State's going to win that football game. It's hard not to just enjoy what that must have felt like for them for an extra day or two. But you feel pretty good about Boston College on Saturday, don't you?
All of a sudden I do. I said it at the start of the show because I believe Mike when he says they've had a good week of practice, that they've been focused, that they've put the win behind them and looked forward to this game and understanding that there is still a lot of work to be done. They've only won 4 games. I mean, as much as we can be excited about the fact that they beat Miami, they've only won 4 games. They still have a losing record. Fight on. You've gained. I talked about traction weeks and weeks ago, and we needed to see it. We needed to see signs of it, even in losses. And we began to see that. We did get it. It wasn't always perfect. It was frustrating to lose in the manner that we did, say, against NC State. But you began to see real traction. And one thing stood out more than anything else, and it has really from the start of the season, is they are a tough group. They're tough mentally, and they're tough physically. They hit. I'm not complaining about this team's physicality. They'll hit you. Now, we've had some soft teams that catch blocks and catch tackles and don't come up and trigger and all that. Not this team. This team does all of those things, and so they've been likable because of it. We just needed them to gain traction and show signs that they were moving towards, frankly, some sort of win that would come as a mild surprise. And they got it. They got the win, which is only a mild surprise. Was it dramatic? Was it exciting? Yes, it was all of those things. Did you show a lot of heart? Did you come back down 8 with like 7 minutes to play? Yeah, you did. And that's huge. That's a sign of more toughness, mentally and physically. But you also executed. Your offense, your passing offense, looked better than it has all year long when it had to, when the game was on the line. I mean, that's a real route. That's a real throw. There was timing. Put your foot in the ground on that last drop back and fire. It was all there. It was a read. Everything about it. He found the soft spot in the zone. Everything about it.
Yeah, think about that for a minute, too, the evolution, because there was a 3rd and 6, a throw and a drag. It was a mesh concept to Keyshawn Hilton on the road in Chapel Hill. You noted that throw. You talked about that as a big moment in the game.
I got excited, yeah.
Mike also did in Monday's press conference because he said that's a real play. That's a real throw.
It's a real play is correct.
And he didn't mean it chidingly. It was just that tells you.
Yeah.
I know. Well, of course you did.
But I'm saying, I mean, that's how bad it's been. We didn't have a real passing offense. And when I saw something that was born out of a real passing offense with complementary routes and concepts, I went, oh, that's there.
Right.
Wow.
I'm saying, of course you did, because he's like, MJ Walker. You just can't wait. You can't help yourself if there's a moment.
Well, I don't. Okay, well, go ahead.
There's some tough love in there. A lot of tough love. But think about the evolution from that moment to where even Mike sounds surprised and pleasantly so,
right,
to where we are now, which is those last 2 performances, one on the road at Clemson, at home against Miami. They hold, what do you think, 8 to 12 throws that are legitimate throws.
Yeah.
From a place where Mike is stunned about 1, now you've got those under duress in big moments, able to handle the pressure with poise, with footwork, with decisiveness. Okay. That is exponential growth in a short period of time that should get us a little bit fired up about a quarterback competition in the spring. Even if you go out into the portal and go grab somebody, you've got yourself a chance now with Jordan Travis in a way you didn't believe so a month ago, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm excited about all of those things, and for good reason. We all should be. And the only thing I'd say is I do have a cause for concern. It's a weird thing to say after complimenting a growth in the passing game, both amongst the receivers, the offensive line, and pass pro in those situations. And then, of course, Jordan Travis's ability to read it, throw it in a timely fashion, on time, in rhythm. All of that had to happen, and he did it several times in that game, and so that is a step forward. But here's what has me concerned. What if he now begins to believe that's who he is? Well, you'd say, well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing if you believe you can actually construct a passing offense week to week and have him execute it. He's also uniquely gifted with his legs, as we've duly noted. It's the one thing that gave you the best chance to win was because it opened up the rest of the running game, plus he's skilled at making you miss, and sometimes if you take a bad angle, he goes 80 yards. That's great. You're going to get opportunities here, and I do worry that if you don't take off because you're hell-bent on making throws since you want to transform into a passing quarterback, that you go too far a week after having that success and the euphoria from it and don't take the opportunity to pick up free yardage that they're giving you.
Yeah, that's something that Lamar went through. And I'm not comparing the athletic types. Like, listen, Lamar Jackson was on a different level. But that was something where after his Heisman campaign, you saw those fits and starts because he was trying to ready himself to be an NFL prospect at the quarterback position. As it turned out, those things still kind of happened in Baltimore, but they're happening while he's capable of winning an NFL MVP. So they're okay over there. The growth I saw, though, from Clemson to Miami is those concerns that you're talking about. That was part of my take on Clemson was, my man,
yeah, you got to go.
6 yards.
You got to go. Yeah.
2nd and 4 is a good play. You don't have to worry about these guys breaking open down the field. If Clemson's going to get you 6 or give you 6, take the 4 and slide. Who cares? Like, you've got to be a factor with your legs. Well, he did that against Miami. I think he did a much better job of taking little chunks when they were there against them. Now, Miami's defense isn't as good as Clemson's, but still, the process was there where he was more willing to be a runner than he was against Clemson. Now, and who knows? That flu bug apparently was hitting the team earlier, so maybe he wasn't feeling 100% that day.
It is interesting, isn't it? I do sit around and think about whether or not he'll continue to grow in the remaining 2 games in the passing game, and then how they'll incorporate that with designed runs for him, etc. All that balance. It opens up the playbook. It changes your offense. I think that the team of Kenny Dillingham and Mike Norvell is a good one. It's a good team. I like the way they work together. They have created something from nothing much of the year, and they have found a way to isolate either one-on-ones, a couple of one-on-nones, but they've given their players chances. They don't always come through because we're not elite there yet, but they've given them a lot of chances, and they seem to have a good feel for, in a given game, what's working, what's not, what to stay with, even when you know you're conceding nothing on the play, but it beats a -3, a -5. They're willing to start 2nd and 9, 3rd and 5. You've got a fighting chance there. You don't at 2nd and 15 and 3rd and 10. So I just appreciated that, but now I want to see what this becomes and how they incorporate some of that confidence in the passing game into the overall game plan, because we don't want to get too far away from really focusing on running the football. That's still who this team is.
Right. The thing that's not going to change, and I see there's a lot of debate about, who's on Jordan Travis to be the future and pick your side, which I just...
Well, he's going to have several good performances before people begin to put in the back of their mind all the ones that...
But, I mean, not to be Jimbo, but the world we live in, like, everybody always has to pick a side.
Right. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. Here's the thing. The growth that Jordan Travis has shown in the last 10 football games that he's played is unbelievable, and it gives the optimists rightful hope. Rightful hope that he could be a legitimate nightmare to prepare for teams next season as our starter. That's a legitimate thing. You can have that take. The pessimist would also be correct to say, well, he almost missed a series this past weekend too.
Yeah.
When can you ever trust him to be healthy enough if we're going to try to run a multifaceted offense where his legs are going to be in play? It's an innocuous moment that you're wondering, oh my God, is he out of the game? McKenzie's coming in? Like, that's the problem. That both of those things are going to be there. The optimists are correct to point to the growth and how we're seeing it fast. And the pessimists are right to say, can you trust him for 12 games? You got to fortify that room to make sure that, hey, even if he is your starter, you've got to have a viable solution if he's not able to go for a series or a game.
Well, I think you still go out in the portal and bring a guy in. The only difference is he's just not guaranteed to start. All of a sudden you revamp your quarterback room where in case we still have that problem from an injury standpoint, or he doesn't progress the way we think he may now progress because of this game, then you've got options. You've got the kid coming in at quarterback, Duffy, and then you've got a transfer portal guy who's presumably had experience and started, and you bring him in too, and you let them all battle it out. I think it's the right play.
But it got a lot more compelling because of what he's been doing the last.
Yeah. Now I no longer think it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to go out and bring yourself a starter in. I don't think that.
Well, it's because what we saw for the bulk of spring camp, right? Not the end where McKenzie got a little bit hot last year in spring. And then what we saw in fall camp, it's not a fluke. Like it can now translate to the field.
Right.
We were wondering in camp, will that actually make it when it's live and he's got that offensive line blocking for him? And the answer is no to begin the season. But now it is. Now we're seeing the guy that we saw in camps.
Oh, did we win again last night?
No, we did not.
But alas, the time has finally fallen to where we lose and we have to bounce back. You ready to cue it up? You ready to do it? Let's. You got to. Well, do I need to start bringing my own to the table? I've had some NBA plays.
If you've
lately.
got something you like, go for it tonight.
Well, I'll just tell you this. I will pull it up here just for you because I did, in fact, make a wager here with I wish these folks would jump on board with us here soon so that we can say their name every time we do this. This is a perfectly legal bet, everybody. I did it with the Hard Rock Sportsbook. Let me look at the winnings here, Jeff. What did we do here? That's a winner. Let's look at that. What was my win? Finished. Yeah.
I can hit the sounder if you're looking.
No, I took the Charlotte Hornets and gave a 1.5 last night over the Wizards, and I won that game.
Okay.
I had a feeling about that game, Tom, but I didn't want to get in the way of a hot streak. And you were on fire. We've won some people, some Red Russians and the like.
Yeah, unfortunately, no Red Russians last night because the final was 2-0. Only 2 goals. Now, they had 76 shots, I think it was. 2 goals combined between the two teams. That is an outlier, but you know what? Outliers don't take you to the pay window, do they?
No, they don't. And it's also part of why it's called gambling. All right. North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
Hey, Big Daddy, having some Red Russians tonight?
We'll know in about 47 seconds.
To an open wing. It's picked up by Dowdy, an empty net. He scores.
Hot damn, Big Daddy's done it again. Red Russians all around, Teddy. All right, Big Daddy.
Problem is it Big Daddy if, well, it can always be Big Daddy, but is it Red Russian time if I'm giving you an NFL Thursday night football game, staring in the face of the Thursday night football gods and saying, I don't back down?
Well, I would say that this music sprawled over a much bigger landmass than the current iteration of that nation.
All right.
So therefore, in that spirit, yeah, many parts, many geographies. Go for it.
Okay, give me the Patriots -6.5 tonight. I'll take a side, and I'll tell you why. Cordell Patterson is out of this game. Their tight end is also hurt. We've got problems here. I'm saying Patriots big, on a roll. Lay them. Lay the 6.5. Run to the ATM. Oh, I'll tell you what, if the Falcons rise up out of nowhere here tonight with very little to play for, no doubt chagrin after a beating that was as thorough as it was by Dallas. If they do, and the NFL is the NFL again, and we see another weird outcome, then I'll run and leave it alone. I will not bet on Thursday Night Football anymore. This is it. I'm making my stand tonight.
The final.
Gotta have it.
The final play, unless you win.
Well, if I win, we'll be right
then
back at it.
There'll be another last stand.
No, it won't be a last stand because then now we're playing with house money, Tom.
Okay. Well, if you win this one and then lose the next one, then the one after that will be the final stand.
Yeah, but that's late into the year. We made it this far before having to post a final stand. You want to talk about an ugly football game this weekend? By the way, just as an aside, I was just perusing the slate. Miami is playing the Jets. Oh, it's not what you do.
For 20 years, that game.
It's awful. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We appreciate you. Be good. We'll talk to you tomorrow.